You have said more than once you're pursuing not one, not two, but three mega trends, as you call them, for growth. One being automation, and then aviation and energy. Your acquisition from Carrier falls clearly in the automation category. Give us a sense, from your point of view, why this particular deal made sense for Honeywell.
Thanks, David. Look, as you laid out, Honeywell is really centered around three mega trends: automation, aviation, and energy transition. Automation is the biggest segment, and this deal really compounds the growth of our building automation business. We have a $6 billion business in building automation. We lead with critical products which are required in the building. We are leaders in two of the product lines in building management systems and fire systems. We have a business in security controls, access control, but we have a moderate position. So this deal further strengthens our capability in security, which I believe is a high growth category. So it fits right in the heart of our building automation business and prepares it for higher growth rate in the future.
Does it substantially advance Honeywell's position within that category? I won't call it a market. I'm not sure it is a market, but in the category, what does it do in terms of your position vis-a-vis your competitors?
It's a very competitive market. This question I can answer two ways. In building automation, it improves our position from a portfolio standpoint because we continue to improve the quality of our portfolio, and this addition makes us more distinctive portfolio compared to our peers. The competition set doesn't really changes because we compete with certain set of peers today. Some of them are publicly listed company like Allegion, JCI. Some of them are privately held companies. So there's no much change in the competition profile. But from a Honeywell perspective, quality of our portfolio gets better, and we have more content of the product to sell to our customers.
What about from the financial point of view? How did you determine what the right price was for Honeywell to pay? And by the way, address the dilutive versus accretive, because Honeywell has said it is going to be accretive from the first year, and then some analysts are saying, no, actually it's dilutive.
I don't know what analysts are saying. I didn't have a chance to look at it. I mean, from our perspective, our metric is that a deal has to be accretive within 1 year of close, and it is absolutely accretive. I can confirm you that. The deal for us works very well because this property is a higher growth rate compared to our core business, which is demonstrated. It brings much higher gross margin, so it further improves the business mix for us. So it really hits all the metrics, and not only it's strong fit in the strategy, it hits all our financial goals, which is accretion in the year one for EPS after the close. Getting us IRR of greater than 10% and cash returns of 10% after year 5. So we hit all the metrics. We don't do deals which are not with, meet our financial goals, and that's a strong principle which we always practice.
So I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but what comes next? I mean, you've said in the past you're interested in bolt-on acquisitions. This looks like a significant bolt-on acquisition. Should we expect more? And if so, is it more likely to come in automation or aviation or energy?
Our pipeline, David, is across all the three segments. I mean, one of the points I've been stating consistently is that portfolio revitalization, keeping it contemporary, is part of my goal. That requires us to have an active pipeline, and our pipeline is active in all the three spaces. It's active in energy transition, in automation, and in aviation. Of course, every deal has its own life. It had its own competitiveness, but our activity is across all three. And I would say that if the deal meets the strategy and it meets the financial goals, we will do the deals. So this is a good indication of how Honeywell would behave in the times ahead. I don't want to sound that we're going to be a very acquisitive company, but acquisitions are going to be an important part of how we want to grow. And that right balance is what we're trying to drive in Honeywell.
How do you assess the growth potential here? Because you have said you want to be in growth areas. Those three megatrends are growth areas. But how do you assess the growth specifically with respect to security?
So security, the way to think about it is that when you and me grew up, the security was thought about managing people and keeping them secure. So we all were given badges, and we bashed ourselves in and out of offices. So a lot of us have a view of security equals to people security, which hasn't changed. But what has got added here is that now asset security has become more pivotal, more critical. That's where these businesses are moving to. So think about an asset like data center, an electronics manufacturing fab, a pharmaceutical plant. They need sophisticated access controls to protect their intellectual property, to manage their operations. And that's where this business has a higher growth rate, because those segments are not only growing higher than GDP rates, but at the same time, the requirement of security is becoming more critical. Add to that the fact convergence of cybersecurity with the physical security. More and more customers are looking at common system at enterprise security level, and that factor will also play out in the times to come. So when we put it all together, we believe that it's going to be mid-single digit to high single digit growth segment. That's without sales synergies Honeywell will bring in. We do believe we have capabilities which are incremental, and we're going to add to that, to this portfolio. But we'll have to do that work. As we complete the customary processes of approvals, we'll be more prepared to think about sales synergies, which we are very confident of to bring to this portfolio.
Vimal, you are pursuing these three megatrends. At the same time, you are emphatic you are not a conglomerate. So what is the common denominator? What draws these three lines together for Honeywell?
So our operating system is really, which binds us together. Operating system is not only processes, but it also the digital backbone on these processes are built. Think about these processes for supply chain operations, for commercial operations, for customer experience. And that's a common backbone on how we run Honeywell. All the businesses are run consistently using the same tools, using the same framework, using the same set of KPIs, and our businesses are enabled on that. So that's one common element of operating system. The second is what I call enabling organization. Honeywell brings to its businesses enabling organization by which businesses can grow more,